it's Isabel. Welcome to my channel. Today I am working on another Scrap-lift Crafternoon with some of my friends, and today we have decided to scrap lift Cassie Wiscarson. I'm the one who chose this, and I'll tell you guys, I chose it because I loved the frames and I hadn't done anything like this, so I really wanted to try it, and I didn't realize how much of a struggle it was going to be for me. But we're gonna wing it. I couldn't really locate the papers that I wanted to use, but look at this photo, you guys. Look at how cute this photo is. My daughter sent it to me when I was at work a couple of days ago, and she had found one. She cleaned her closet and she had found an old Wonder Woman cape that she had, and she has been wearing it around the house lately. And then sent me this picture of her having put it on my dog. And I love that. Look, doesn't it look like she's about to like fly away, you guys? I just had to scrap this, and it was perfect because it was right when we were about to scrap this. And since Cassie used a little fur baby, I'm going to use mine again. This looks like it's a 4x6 photo. The photo itself looks like it has some kind of doodle frame, but I'm not going to do that. What I did do on mine, though, was I pretty much got rid of the background color and made my dog pop. So I think I'm going to focus around the red, white, and blue and gold for my colors. She's got some paint strips in the back. I brought in my watercolors. I think I'm just going to, like I said, red, white, this is more of a pearl, blue, and then I might use like this almond color, or I think this one might be too bright for gold. But I mean, I might throw that in, or I might just leave it red, white, and blue. Not 100% sure, but I am just going to start with this paint in the background and go from there. Okay, you guys, so my paint is dry. It's a little darker than I wanted, but we're going to make it work. I pulled blue, red, white, and then this bright gold thread. This isn't thread. These are threads, but this is more of, I don't even know what this is, but it's a gold string was in my daughter's kit, so I'm going to steal some from her. I know it's really bright. I might not use it. I might try to find a different gold that's a little bit more toned down. But I'm thinking about doing the thread because Cassie has a stitch pattern going up on her paint strokes. So I'm thinking tone on tone. So the blues for the blues, the whites for the white. And the way that I'm going to do it, I considered getting out my machine, but it doesn't bother me to do it by hand, so I'm going to bring in my tracing wheel. I learned that this is actually called a tracing wheel from Ella Connor. Thank you so much for the information. And all this is going to do is create a line, a stitch pattern that I could follow all the way down my paper. I'm going to use my T-ruler, not necessarily to get the lines straight, but just so that they don't look 100% off. They at least look remotely straight. So once I get that down, I'm going to use my piercing tool and just follow the pattern and then go ahead and sew it by hand, tone on tone. So this is what we have. Didn't that come out so pretty? So we have the red, white, and blue, and then I added the little bit of gold to match the colors that are on the cape over here. Now we're going to get the photo backed. So what I did was I pulled in, I couldn't decide what papers I really wanted to use. So what I ended up deciding on is I bordered the photo itself with a thin white cardstock just to help the photo pop because I made it dark. And then I'm going to bring in this blue and get it cut. Now I don't want the cuts to be exactly a rectangle. I want it to kind of offset in a slant, kind of exactly the way that Cassie, and not exactly, but the way that Cassie has it on her layout. Now, the blue was a little bit bright, so I brought in a polka dot vellum sheet that I had, and I just cut that in the same size and laid that over the blue, and it really toned it down. Once I get the picture laid out the way that I want, I'm going to move on to the next layer, which I bring in a red, white, and blue pattern paper, and I'm just going to cut a smaller rectangle, but I'm also, that one I'm not going to necessarily try to offset. I'm just going to have it peeking through 3 corners of the photo because it doesn't actually stretch across the whole photo. It's just a piece that's sitting in between the layers. Now, I thought that it would be really cool to, instead of back all the papers and then put it on fun foam, to put fun foam in between some of the layers. I thought that I would do it on more than one, but I only ended up doing it on one. After I put in this pattern, red, white, and blue paper, I'm going to bring in some fun foam, and I'm going to get the fun foam backed on the photo and then adhere to the glitter cardstock that's in the background. And that'll be my base border. Once I do that, I'm going to bring in some frame pieces that I had the Cricut cut. Now, you guys, I wasn't kidding when I said that I was struggling with these borders or frames. I thought that it was going to be really cute and I would be able to go into my stash and pull a bunch of frames, but I didn't realize how little my stash was in frames. So I'm going to have to just do these from scratch. What I did was I had the Cricut, I designed some frames on the Cricut design space, with the exception of the little one. The little one was a cut file that was accessible on the Cricut. And then I had the Cricut cut it in white. And then I also had it cut chipboard. Now what I'm going to do is sit them on the layout, see where I want them. And then I'm not going to actually color them until I get the top done with the strips, because I'm not sure what papers I'm going to use. And I'm not sure, I don't want to paint these and then realize that I painted it the wrong color. So I'm going to do the painting of the frames last. And what I end up pulling in is this American Crafts red, white, and blue pattern paper. I'm going to cut there's 3 strips, red, white, and blue on it that are sitting together. I'm just going to get those cut together. It's going to be my top border. And then I'm going to go on to the Cricut again and create a scallop strip that is going to hang underneath it. Now, I do use the blue that I used when I backed the photo, and it is still too bright, so I'm going to use the vellum on top of it, but instead of using the polka dot vellum, I'm going to use just regular vellum to tone it down. During this process, you guys, I was on a roll and I stopped filming. Well, I didn't realize my camera had stopped filming. And so I did not have a lot of the footage when I started embellishing. But I do realize it eventually, and it does catch up again. But what I end up doing is I end up finding a gold strip or a gold cardstock that I meant to be using because I added the gold in the paint. So I was forgetting all about that, so I hadn't added any gold. And then I found a light blue cardstock that actually matched the color that I was creating with that bright blue and the vellum paper. So I stopped creating my own color with those 2 sheets, and then I started using the lighter cardstock that I found. Now, for the 2 strips that are hanging from the scallop border, I'm going to use a firework pattern paper that I have as the larger strip, and then I'm going to use a red cardstock, but it's too bright, so I'm going to tone it down with the polka dot vellum, and then add in the gold and the blue next to the red to bring in all three colors on top. And then I do have the Cricut cut out the two hearts that I have on the top left hand corner, and I had the Cricut slice a paw print in one of the hearts just so that I have that, and I backed that with the glitter cardstock. Now on the bottom of the photo I have a circle and an M. The M is from a thicker sheet that I have, and the circle I just cut a red cardstock with one of my infinity circle dies and got that adhered. Now the M is for Maddie, and that is popped up on some foam dots, and then the hearts are also popped up on some foam dots to give the dimension. I also got the gold because I told you I forgot I wanted to use gold, and I had already put my layers on the photos, so I'm going to create gold frames and blue frames, and then my touch of red are going to be the hearts and then the circle. And then because there's a lot of black in the photo and I hadn't used black, I'm going to bring in my Tim Holtz small talk phrases and use a couple of them. Now for the one that's sitting under the M, that one says adventure is worthwhile, and I didn't want it to just be black, so I did border it with the glitter cardstock as well, which kind of brings the glitter cardstock diagonally across, because I also, you can't see it on film very well, but I also bordered the firework pattern paper with the glitter cardstock, and then the paw print I have the glitter cardstock on. And so I bordered it with glitter cardstock, and then on the bottom left hand corner I'm going to add some more glitter cardstock there with my phrases. There wasn't any phrases that were going to completely work with this layout other than the one that I used, so I kind of cropped the words that I wanted, and what I cut out was pretend and it comes from the same phrase on the small talk sheet, but I'm going to flip them, and it's going to say it's pretend, and I'm going to put that on the left hand frame, but I'm going to also border it with the glitter cardstock just to be cohesive as I was doing the whole. I come back to the bottom right hand frame and I do stamp the date, you guys. I struggled. I don't know what my issue was, but I was struggling to get the date on, and I still messed it up. I did not realize it until I started editing this photo. I stamped the date October 21st, 2022. Yes, October. It was actually supposed to read September. I am going to fix it, so you'll see it change in the close-ups at the end. I don't know. I'm telling you, first I stamped the date that Cassie had on her layout. And then I stamped September 9th, which is my grandma's birthday. And I was having so many issues. I don't know. For some reason, I just couldn't get the date right. And I still didn't get the date right. So, I get the date on. And then Cassie had originally put the date written underneath the photo. I wanted to still have some writing there. So, I'm going to write out Maddie Baby. But I don't like the way that it looks on the paint. It kind of just, it's hard to see. So I'm going to cut the light blue cardstock that I started using, and then I'm going to border that with black, and I'm going to do little fishtails at the end of each side, and to make it look like a little banner, and it's going to say Maddie Baby. And I think that reads a little bit better than trying to read it in between the stitching. After that is down, I'm going to do my journaling, which my journaling is going to be the same thing that I had mentioned. You know, my daughter cleaned out her closet, found her Wonder Woman cape, wore it all day, and when she was done, it was Maddie's turn. And I am just so happy that my daughter took this picture. This is the cutest picture, you guys. I can't get over it. And this layout, it's cute. It's adorable. So, for the stars, though, I ended up finding some a Hero Arts collection at Joann's, because I went browsing for small stars. I don't have any small stars in my collection, so I thought I'd go get, something that had small stars in it. And this collection, it has a lot of stars, clouds, galaxies kind of themed, and I think I will use it with a lot of my daughter layouts. So I ended up buying it, and I'm gonna stamp stars in the same areas that Cassie has on her layout. I really like how this turned out. I did struggle with it. Surprisingly, I thought this was gonna be super easy. It wasn't. At least for me, it wasn't. Oh yeah, and I did add the title. Now Cassie has her title on the photo. My dog's head is just too big. It's in the way. So I put it in the same area, just kind of off the photo and the frames, and it's going to read number 1 Super Dog. We kind of were going back and forth. I wanted to do Our Protector, and my daughter wanted to do Super Pooch, and my husband wanted Super Dog. So I drew a random pick because we couldn't decide together, and it ended up being Super Dog. So number 1 Super Dog it is. I thought I put Pooch in there somewhere, but I'll get it on another layout for my daughter. Anyways, you guys, I do hope that you will go to my description box, jump on the playlist, and watch all the other creatives that are working on this scrap lift. I'm sure they have great ideas, and their layouts look just as good. So head on over if you have time and let everyone know what you think. I want to thank Cassie for allowing us to scrap lift her. I hope she likes, at least what I did. I was really, really proud of it. She has a beautiful layout, and if you go in my description box, you'll also have a link to her Instagram. Swing on over to her account, check out all of her layouts. She has amazing layouts, you guys. Thank you so much again for joining me. You guys all take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.